back to Sip the Scoop, where we dig into the stories the industry wishes would stay buried.
Oh, no, that was it. No, when I get nervous, I tell the truth.
Before Prince's tragic end back in April 2016, insiders say he was gathering some serious intel that could have shaken Jay-Z and Beyoncé's whole polished image. People close to the situation claim Prince kept files, notes, and recordings that certain power players hoped would never see daylight again. Rumor is, the Carters thought they wiped everything clean. Every backup, every hard drive, every single copy of whatever Prince was digging into. But now, whispers say something from that stash is leaking again, and it has them moving fast behind the scenes like they're trying to shut it all down before it blows up even bigger. What's really wild is when these supposed leaks are popping back up right as Diddy's entire world is crashing in court. That's why people online are asking if someone's releasing this old material on purpose. If the rumors are real, the question isn't if Prince uncovered something. Prince's passing was officially labeled accidental, but the confusion that hit right after had people side-eyeing everything. The line between business and betrayal started looking real shaky, and the timing made the whole thing feel even messier. Just months before, Prince had placed rare tracks on Jay-Z's streaming platform Tidal because he believed the rapper when he said he wanted to protect artists' rights for real. At first, that partnership looked like pure respect between two legends, but the second Prince was gone and with no will left behind.
You one of Jay-Z's day ones, like one of the original Circle crew members, brothers.
30 years.
30 years. How'd y'all first connect?
Streets, man. It was a connection through a mutual.
The whole thing flipped into a courtroom showdown that nobody saw coming. His estate accused Tidal and Roc Nation of backdating paperwork and claiming control over hundreds of songs Prince never approved. Those filings painted a picture of major scrambling behind the scenes, like Jay-Z's companies were trying to lock down Prince's entire vault before anyone could stop them. By 2017, Jay-Z took the whole dispute straight into his music, turning it into a statement the world couldn't ignore. On his 444 album, one track had everybody talking because he called out Prince's estate advisors, accusing them of selling Prince out. Jay-Z rapped that he sat with Prince eye to eye.
Jay?
Yeah.
At this point? Nah, I would want, why?
Claiming Prince personally told him what he wanted before he passed, drawing a hard line between himself and the lawyers handling the estate. The message was emotional, but it did something bigger. It stamped the feud into public memory forever. The estate's lawyers clapped back fast, arguing that Tidal's contract was never real, saying some paperwork was allegedly backdated and didn't match any official communication from Prince's team. To the estate, it looked like someone trying to manipulate the situation. To Jay-Z, it felt like a smear meant to paint him as the villain. Either way, it pushed one huge question to the front. What was in Prince's vault that had billionaires going at each other like this? Not long after these lawsuits kicked off, new reports claim Jay-Z flew Prince's sister Tyka to New York for a private meeting.
How do you know I'm not a gangster? Or used to be a gangster? I've been in the music industry for 30 years.
Yeah, the industry's filled with gangsters.
Sources familiar with the talks said he allegedly put a $40 million offer on the table to buy Prince's entire catalog outright. The number shocked the industry, not because it was big, but because it seemed too small for decades of unreleased music and priceless studio work. That low offer had analysts wondering what else might have been inside that vault. What kind of files or notes could make even $40 million look like a discount? Now, some insiders are whispering that Prince didn't just store music. They say he kept personal documents, handwritten notes about executives, artists, and their behind-the-scenes dealings. And according to those same rumors, names like Jay-Z and Beyoncé were included. Jay-Z's supporters say all of this is just business, but when you look at the timeline, it hits different. It makes him look like someone whose whole rise matched the same hard energy he used to rap about. The record is public. Back in 1999, he pled guilty after an altercation with producer Lance Rivera during a fight over a bootleg album release, and he ended up with probation instead of jail time. A couple years later, police arrested him again after a loaded weapon was found in a car tied to his entourage outside a Manhattan club. His bodyguard took responsibility, and Jay-Z walked away without charges, which had people talking even back then. Before all of that, Jay-Z openly admitted in interviews that he made his early money on Brooklyn corners, saying the streets taught him everything he needed to know about risk, hustle, and profit. For years, he flipped that past into legend, turning it into a story of survival and reinvention.
I think that they don't want if they was in any of those freak-off tapes, if they played a part in any of those Diddy sessions, they don't want it to get out to the general public to make
contracts and high-stakes corporate plays. By the mid-2000s, Jay-Z had fully transformed from rapper to mogul, building a brand that made him and his wife look untouchable, polished, and above the messiness of regular celebrity drama. And that's exactly why the Prince situation hit so hard. It cracked open a side of him that wasn't curated. A businessman facing accusations of falsifying documents, pressuring grieving family members, and trying to secure creative property in the chaos after a superstar's passing. According to court filings, Tidal streamed more than 15 albums of Prince's music after he died, including works Prince never approved for online release. The estate said Jay-Z's team jumped on the moment, assuming nobody would push back while everyone was still processing the loss.
But Diddy parties and Diddy After Dark are two different things. I want to go on record of saying I never saw Jay-Z at a Diddy After Dark party. Then again, I wasn't there, so I don't know who was there. But I know that I saw Jay-Z at the Diddy party.
For everyone watching from the outside, the whole situation started looking less like a mix-up and more like a power move that backfired in real time. What seemed at first like business confusion now felt like something way more calculated. And while all of that was going down, another storm was building fast. Sean Diddy Combs, the same man who used to host Jay-Z and Beyoncé at those famous all-white parties, suddenly found himself facing heavy accusations claiming he was running something far darker behind the luxury lifestyle he promoted. Federal filings now claim those glamorous parties weren't just social events, but fronts covering private networks where certain encounters were recorded and stored by his inner circle. Former publicists and past guests have publicly said that Diddy kept a vault of footage from his so-called freak-off gatherings, with prosecutors describing them as staged setups filmed by employees for control and influence. So when people mention the possibility that Prince, a man known for distrusting industry middlemen, might have kept his own notes or evidence about this kind of behavior, it doesn't sound shocking anymore, especially since multiple lawsuits over the years mention Jay-Z and Beyoncé attending those circles before distancing themselves later on. Jay-Z's name has already popped up in several filings connected to Diddy's world, including a recent civil case accusing both men of misconduct at a party back in the early 2000s. Jay-Z denied everything, calling the claim an attempt to pressure him.
And it was pretty much said like, Jay doesn't really want awards. Well, he go to the Grammys.
Right.
He you know, come into the black-owned spaces. Let's figure out how to work together so that way we have the relationship when it matters, not when it's convenient for you and your image. Because they all call us when the story.
But people notice that the same pattern keeps showing up again and again. His lawyers pushed out statements saying he had nothing to do with it and even pointed to public alibis to back him up. If these storylines really are connected, that could explain why the Carter's team is rumored to be watching every single leak site that even mentions Prince's name. Prince's vault has always carried a mythic reputation. Rows of tapes, videos, handwritten notes, and rare collaborations stacked floor to ceiling inside Paisley Park. But people who worked on the cataloging project say not everything in that vault was about music. Some insiders describe sealed envelopes locked away for years, while others talked about digital drives with no clear labels and unknown contents. One former advisor even told a trade outlet that certain items were sensitive, meaning they were never meant for release, sale, or public eyes at all. When the Universal deal for the vault collapsed in a wave of legal confusion, those materials reportedly traded hands over and over again, adding another layer of mystery. Not somewhere in that messy chain, files may have slipped out, and that's exactly where the current rumor begins. Word online is that a batch of digital archives lifted during those early audits has resurfaced, and people whisper that these files might contain...
And I'm not saying allegedly.
Oh.
I'm saying, Sean Carter, you're a piece of shit. Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough. You just want to go down there and you want to just remove all of the balls from every real gangster in Houston.
Material tying together business networks, private recordings, and behind-the-scenes leverage connected to some of the same names now being pulled into court today. If any of that is true, the fallout would be massive. It would mean what started as a simple streaming dispute turned into a much bigger fight, a battle over reputations, alliances, and possibly documentation that goes way beyond entertainment. Some people say the Carters are just protecting their brand, but whatever the reason, something clearly has them on edge. Every week, a new rumor pops up about encrypted drives, mysterious documents mentioning Diddy, Roc Nation, and even private investigators tied to Prince's old circle. None of this has been confirmed, but there are too many voices whispering for the story to fade away now. And the deeper you look, the more the trail lines up, from Prince's vault in Minneapolis, to the lawsuits in New York, to the federal cases unfolding in Los Angeles. When the estate finally wrapped its first major inventory, insiders reportedly noticed something odd.
Still. And then you have celebrities like a Jay-Z. And this is where I think the whole fallout with the Beyoncé, she's just kind of in the crosshairs because of all of what's going on in the media with respect to Jay-Z and stuff. But with Jay, you know, when he complained at the Grammys about the Grammys not giving Beyoncé Artist of the Year, when she's the most decorated Grammy-winning artist ever, we invited him to be honored at our award show.
A few catalog numbers that appeared on older manifests were missing from the final report. These weren't songs, they were labeled only as miscellaneous media. And insiders say that is what everyone is hunting for. Those non-musical files are what people believe might explain why certain powerful figures are suddenly acting like they had no connection to Prince at all. The timing has everyone raising eyebrows, wondering who's trying to stay ahead of whatever might be inside those missing boxes. Meanwhile, prosecutors digging into Sean Diddy Combs' empire are uncovering allegations that sound like a surreal script written for a blockbuster thriller. Investigators describe a structured system behind his most infamous gatherings, with assistants handling transportation, private flights booked under alternate names, and entire hotel floors rented out for events meant to stay secretive and tightly controlled. Recovered during the raids in LA and Miami, investigators say they found large amounts of supplies and items that tabloids quickly turned into jokes, but prosecutors insist those materials show a pattern and a method. They claim everything was organized, labeled, and in some cases used to maintain control over certain circles. Diddy has denied all criminal wrongdoing and says every story will fall apart once he gets his chance in court. Still, the pattern now being exposed has the entire industry on edge. People behind the scenes say the deeper these investigations go, the more names end up tangled in the story, and nobody knows who might get pulled in next. In one civil filing that briefly grabbed headlines,
I mean, why waste my time?
And sometimes you respond to something that brings way more attention to it, too.
That too, and it's just, it goes into another space, and then you just like, oh, y'all not listening to me.
But then you'll have somebody that'll say to you.
Jay-Z and Beyoncé were suddenly listed as potential witnesses who might have attended a past event hosted by Diddy. But within days, an amended filing scrubbed their names completely, as if they were never included at all. Jay-Z's attorney jumped in immediately, saying the rapper wasn't even in Florida during that period and pointed to public appearances in New York to back it up. That moment highlighted the strange pattern surrounding the Carters. Their names appear, disappear, and then everything goes silent behind a wall of tight legal statements. Insiders call their team one of the fastest cleanup crews in the business, moving with precision whenever a headline starts drifting too close to them. Some people see that as proof they've done nothing wrong, while others say the speed looks like panic when a rumor hits too close to home. Insiders say Prince personally pulled together the papers everyone is whispering about, creating what looked like his own quiet investigation before he passed. They claim he was tracking industry exploitation, hidden side deals, and behavior he believed was hurting artists he cared about. So when Prince died, his vault wasn't just a stash of unreleased songs, it became a black box holding questions nobody wanted open. People who worked near the early inventory say copies of certain files were supposedly made and kept outside Paisley Park for safety. Now the leaks popping up online are rumored to be pieces from that backup. Things like notes, emails, and maybe even small clips from devices Prince kept locked away. If any of that is real, it would explain why some major names are suddenly trying to lock down silence in ways that don't leave a trail at all. To folks watching from the outside, it feels like someone is scared of what might surface next. At the same time, Jay-Z's major image shift after Prince's passing stands out more than ever.
You said greed?
Greed.
The money?
Yes. Or the power, one of the two.
I mean, it looks more like power. It's this spell, right?
Right.
That Jay got. That's why I kind of look at Kanye and Dame and all them. They the old me.
Right.
They the YouTube me.
Yeah. Right.
You understand what I'm saying? That this Dame look like the old YouTube me to me, because he hurt, bro.
His 444 album pushed him as a wiser, cleaner figure. Someone teaching ownership, honesty, and emotional growth. Fans thought he was leveling up, showing a different side of himself. But filings from that same period told a rougher story, with accusations that his companies edited paperwork and tried to create agreements Prince never agreed to. One filing from NPG Records claimed Tidal backdated an equity sheet to justify streaming hundreds of songs, even though emails from that time didn't match the story Jay-Z's team told. To the public, Jay-Z's version sounded thoughtful and respectful, but to lawyers looking at dates and signatures, it looked more like protection mode. Prince fought corporate control his whole life, even writing messages on his own skin to protest the system, while Jay-Z built his entire empire by mastering those same corporate rules. The clash between Prince, an artist fighting to stay free, and Jay-Z, a mogul building a massive business machine, wasn't just a difference in philosophy. It was a battle over power, control, and who gets to shape a legacy. And when you look at everything unfolding today, that tension feels strangely familiar. Both Jay-Z and Diddy built their worlds through access, influence, and tight-knit circles. But now those same circles look radioactive as investigators dig deeper. As federal teams followed Diddy's money trails, they started mapping decades of relationships tied to the highest levels of the music world.
Seen Puffy independent. All the people that got hated on in the game, look where they ended up. So I can see my future. I can see what's going on here. This independency is gonna be big. I'm gonna have my own. But this ain't to just target him. I just a book about my life, a movie about my life. Why?
Insiders have claimed for years that certain recordings from his most extravagant gatherings floated quietly behind the scenes, used as quiet leverage long before any raid ever happened. People whispered that favors were traded just to make sure certain clips never saw daylight. Prince, always suspicious of any network built on leverage, reportedly warned a few close friends that artists were being controlled in new ways. Whether he meant literal recordings or symbolic contracts, the message hits differently now, almost like he saw the storm coming before anyone else. And when you look at how tightly the Carters guard their public image today, the puzzle pieces start lining up. Their team moves fast, polished, and calculated, stepping in before a headline has a chance to get out of hand. Earlier this year, a well-known talk show host issued a public apology after airing an interview where a former collaborator made unsettling claims about Jay-Z and Beyoncé's supposed ties to Diddy. The host ended up complying, cutting the segment and releasing a careful statement about legal boundaries, and moves like that are rare these days. It showed just how fast the Carters team can shut something down before it turns into a wildfire. Behind the scenes, producers and journalists say they've been quietly advised not to touch anything that links the couple to Diddy's ongoing scandal, and that silence only makes people more curious. Every edited clip, every deleted post.
So, as we look at Jay-Z's life, he's a billionaire, married to Beyoncé. Do you feel like he's truly reaped the karma of all his actions?
Where the karma is at?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we don't see him.
Well.
Or do you feel like he ever will?
I feel like if you done people wrong, you done people wrong.
Every sudden correction adds another layer of mystery about what's being protected. Meanwhile, the leaks tied to Prince's vault keep spreading in hidden corners of the internet, popping up on anonymous accounts that claim to have encrypted drives full of communications, financial documents, and references to major entertainment events. None of it has been verified, and yet the clips and files appear, disappear, and reappear so fast that people can barely track them. What we're hearing now is that attempts to trace these leaks keep pointing back to people who worked around Prince's estate during the chaotic first year after he passed. Some of them allegedly walked away with data before new administrators stepped in, while others were later hired by big music companies connected to Roc Nation. If those connections are legit, it would mean portions of Prince's vault were scattered long before lawyers could secure everything, and that's where things start to feel risky. The same federal investigators looking into Diddy's alleged network are reportedly reviewing communications from multiple industry figures who cross paths with him, whether financially, socially, or through shared business circles. That means this isn't just about one celebrity falling from grace. It's about a wider web of relationships being examined under a microscope. The Carters aren't defendants in any case, and they're not listed as targets, but their closeness to so many major players keeps their names floating in every conversation. In rumor circles, some industry veterans swear that whatever Prince documented wasn't criminal at all, just behind-the-scenes proof of how far artists go to protect their business empires. But others whisper something different, saying the files might show quiet deals, favors exchanged, and powerful middlemen who step in to shut down stories before they hit the surface. The wild twist is that Jay-Z once spoke like he was carrying Prince's torch for independence, yet the way the vault dispute plays out in filings makes him look like Prince's opposite, a mogul fighting for every master, every narrative, and every detail under his complete control. Even Beyoncé's clean, polished image fits that same pattern, built on discipline, privacy, and perfection. Their whole empire is built on staying untouchable, so even a small rumor linking them to a scandal, even through someone else, threatens the image they work hard to protect. When their names briefly appeared in documents connected to Diddy's situation, their legal team reacted instantly, shutting it down and calling everything baseless. When those references disappeared, the conversation only got louder because people noticed how fast it all happened. But through all of these threads, Prince's presence hangs like a shadow. He never trusted big corporate alliances, and he warned that anyone who controls your art ends up controlling your identity. So if these new leaks really did come from pieces of his private archive, they could shift how we see power in entertainment completely. We're left with a chilling symmetry here. Diddy staring down a federal trial, Jay-Z navigating lawsuits over ownership, and an invisible trail of data that some insiders say connects all of this back to Prince himself. The same artist who warned the world about what happens when too much power ends up in too few hands. And the longer these rumored files drift around, the more nervous energy we see behind the scenes. The statements, the denials, the quiet calls between teams trying to get ahead of whatever might drop next. If these documents really exist, they could outline the hidden economy of secrets that fuels modern fame, the deals, the pressure, the off-record alliances that shaped an entire era of entertainment. And if the next leak pulls in even more names, we might learn this story was never just about Diddy's downfall. It might be about a whole generation facing the consequences of what Prince documented years ago. Because if those files truly expose how influence, silence, and money were tied together, then the Carters aren't just pushing back against rumors, they're facing the legacy of a man who kept receipts on everything. So the real question becomes, who has those files now, and what happens when the next leak lands? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you think about all of this. If you enjoyed this breakdown, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to Sip the Scoop for more deep dives and wild industry twists. Thank you for watching. Stay sharp, stay curious, and remember, every secret eventually comes back for an encore.